Welcome back to the Deep Dive. If you're looking to get up to speed quickly, well, today we're tuning into something maybe a little unexpected.
Oh, what have we got?
Italian language shortwave broadcast. We've got these schedules here, and our mission, let's say, is to figure out the global reach.
Interesting. Italian on shortwave. You don't always think of that immediately. Who's broadcasting?
Well, that's the surprising part. It's quite a diverse list.
Yeah.
We're talking Argentina, China, Egypt, Romania, Turkey, even Vatican City.
Wow. Okay. That is diverse. From South America to Asia, Europe, Africa. Quite the geographical spread. What's driving that, I wonder?
Exactly. Let's break it down. First up, RAE Argentina al Mundo.
Okay. Argentina.
They're on weekdays, 1200 to 1300 UTC, and they're targeting the Americas and Europe.
Both. How are they managing that?
Good question. It looks like they're using WRMI. That's the relay station in Florida, I think.
Right. WRMI. That makes sense for reaching both continents. What frequency?
100 and 770 kilohertz. That puts it in the 19-meter band.
19 meters. Good daytime band for that kind of distance. So likely reaching Italian communities abroad, maybe.
Seems plausible. Okay, next. Radio China International.
Right. CRI. They often have a big presence.
They do. Daily broadcast to Europe. First one is 0600 to 0700 UTC on 100 and 520 kilohertz.
17 meters. Another higher frequency band, good for daytime into Europe.
Yeah, and then they have evening slots too, also for Europe, around 1800 to 1900 UTC, and then again 2030 to 2130 UTC.
Multiple times. What bands are those on?
Various frequencies listed, looks like mostly 40 and 41 meters.
Yeah.
So lower frequencies for evening propagation into Europe.
Makes sense. They're really covering their bases, trying to catch European listeners at different times. A clear strategy there.
Definitely seems like it. Moving on, Radio Cairo.
Egypt. Okay.
Daily, also to Europe, 1800 to 1900 UTC. So same time slot as one of the China broadcasts.
Competition on the dial? Frequency?
Well, this is interesting. It says around 9470 kilohertz, but it's marked as tentative.
The classic shortwave schedule uncertainty.
Right. You tune in, hook for the best. That's in the 31-meter band, if it's active.
Okay. Still Europe-focused. Wonder what the cultural or maybe diplomatic angle is for Egypt broadcasting in Italian?
That's a good question. Okay, who's next? Radio Romania International.
RRI. They're usually quite active.
They are. 3 daily broadcasts listed, all targeting Europe. Midday, mid-afternoon, and early evening.
So similar to China, hitting different parts of the day.
Exactly. And interestingly, that last broadcast, the evening one, it mentions DRM.
Oh, Digital Radio Mondiale. Alongside analog, presumably.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Using frequencies like 7 and 10, 325 kilohertz for analog, and maybe the same or adjacent for DRM.
That's quite forward-thinking, offering digital quality for those who can receive it. Romania has often been a bit ahead on DRM trials, haven't they?
Seems so. Okay, a couple more. La Voce de Turkey, Voice of Turkey.
All right, Turkey. Also Europe.
Yep, Europe again. Daily, but just a short morning slot. 0830 to 0900 UTC.
Half an hour. Concise.
On 13655 kilohertz, which is 31 meters again.
So much focus on Europe from all these different countries really makes you think about the perceived audience there.
It does. Okay, last one on this list. Radio Vaticano. Vatican Radio.
Okay. A bit different, perhaps.
Slightly. Their target region is listed as North Africa and the Middle East.
Interesting. Not Europe this time.
Right. Broadcast is Monday to Saturday, very early. 0600 to 0610 UTC. Just 10 minutes.
Short and early. What frequency?
595 kilohertz. That's the 19-meter band. Makes sense for reaching North Africa and the Middle East from Italy at that time?
Yeah, propagation would work, and the focus on that region fits their mission, obviously.
Absolutely. So it's this really fascinating picture, isn't it? Argentina using a U.S. relay, China all over the European schedule, Egypt, Romania trying digital, Turkey with a morning brief, the Vatican looking south and east.
All broadcasting in Italian, reaching potentially very different listener groups across continents.
And did you notice the closing note in our source material? Al final, muchos, 73 para todos.
Yeah, 73, the classic ham radio and shortwave listeners' greeting for best regards.
Exactly. It's a nice touch, kind of grounds it in that listening community.
It does. A little nod to the hobbyists.
So the big takeaway here, I think, is just how surprisingly global Italian is on the shortwave bands. You've got broadcasts originating from or relayed through multiple continents, aiming for listeners far and wide.
It really challenges the idea that shortwave is purely a relic, doesn't it? These countries clearly see some value.
Which brings us to the final thought for you, our listeners. In 2025, with the internet, streaming, everything else. Why? Why are nations like China, Turkey, Egypt, Argentina still investing in sending out Italian programs over shortwave radio?
Yeah, who exactly are they hoping to reach? Is it diaspora? Is it about cultural influence, diplomacy? And what makes this sort of older technology still relevant enough for them to keep the transmitters running for these Italian broadcasts?
Something to definitely ponder. What unique role does shortwave play for them and for potential listeners, even now?